Hi students, uh, in this video I am going to continue to talk on economics and in particular I am going to talk about elasticity of demand. If you remember the law of demand tells us that uh, keeping all other things constant, uh, buyers or consumers will buy more of a product when its price decreases and less when its price increases. But by how much more or by how much less will they buy or will they not buy is not reflected in the law of demand. The amount uh, of the variation by how much more or by how much less will buyers buy or not buy actually varies from product to product and over different price ranges for the same product. Now, in order to study uh, which goods are more elastic in demand or which goods are less elastic in demand, the economists have come up with the concept called elasticity, price elasticity of demand. With this concept, uh, we can actually quantify by how much a product is sensitive or not sensitive. But before that, the elasticity of demand refers to the responsiveness or sensitivity of consumers to a price change. For some products like restaurant meals, consumers are highly sensitive to price, where a modest change in price causes a very large change in the quantity demanded or purchased. For such items where the quantity demanded increases by a larger proportion compared to the price change is called relatively elastic or elastic demand. So economists say that the demand for such product is relatively elastic or simply elastic. For other products, for example, toothpaste, consumers pay much less attention to changes in price. In For such products, substantial change in price causes only small change in the amount purchased or quantity demanded. The demand for such products is considered to be relatively inelastic or simply inelastic. Now, how do we measure the elasticity of demand? Uh, the elasticity of demand is actually measured through what is called coefficient of price elasticity of demand, which is denoted by E subscript D and which is given by this formula, where coefficient of price elasticity of demand ED is equal to percentage change in quantity demanded of a product divided by percentage change in price of the particular product X, or coefficient of elasticity price elasticity of demand ED is also given by this formula. Change in quantity demanded of product X divided by original quantity demanded of product X, the whole thing divided by change in price of the product X divided by original price of product X. So, a demand is elastic if a specific percentage change in price results in greater percentage change in quantity demanded. And in such cases, the price elasticity, the coefficient of price elasticity of demand is greater than 1. For example, you can see this graph for beef, how the demand is changing with respect to change in price. So in this case, you can see for a 10% increase in the price of beef results in 20% decrease in quantity demanded. So which gives the coefficient of elasticity of demand equal to 2, and which is greater than 1. So therefore this particular product or item is considered to be having elastic demand. So in other words, the demand for beef is elastic in nature. Now, in extreme situation where a small reduction in price causes buyers to increase their purchase from 0 to all they can obtain or purchase or buy, the elasticity coefficient becomes infinite, and economists say that the demand is perfectly elastic. But this is an ideal situation. So you can see with very slight change in price, the quantity demanded increases drastically on this figure. So, in case of elastic demand, a decrease in price will lead to increase in total revenue. This is because even though a lesser price is received per unit, enough additional units are sold, and that will more than make up for the lower price or for the reduction in price. Or, in other words, it will more than make up for the decrease in price or the loss that is made from the decreased price. Whereas when price is increased, it will lead to reduction in revenue. This is because the quantity demanded falls by a greater percentage than the percentage rise in the price, and the total revenue will decrease because the quantity sold will be much lesser than the much lesser, and the profit generated from that will be lesser than the percentage rise in price. Now for inelastic demand, if a specific percentage change in price produces smaller percentage change in quantity demanded, demand is considered to be inelastic. In such case, the coefficient of price elasticity of demand will be less than 1. So you can look at this example here for automobile repair service. So for automobile repair service, suppose that a 10% increase in price leads to 4% decrease in quantity demanded. Then ED is equal to 0.4, which is less than 1. So therefore, the demand for automobile repair is considered to be inelastic. So again, for this, in extreme situation or ideal situation where a price change results in no change whatsoever in the quantity demanded, economists say that demand for such a product or good is perfectly inelastic. So the curve for inelastic demand is shown here. The price elasticity coefficient in this case is 0 because there is no response to a change in the price of a product. In case of inelastic demand, when the price of a product decreases, there will be reduction in total revenue. This is because the increase in sale will not fully offset the decrease in revenue per unit, and therefore the total revenue will fall. Whereas when the price for an inelastic demand product is increased, there will be increase in total revenue. So you can see some of the examples of goods and services for the coefficient of price elasticity of demand. You can see newspaper here is inelastic, and sugar has coefficient of price elasticity of 0.3, so this is also inelastic. The demand for sugar is also considered to be inelastic, whereas you can see the demand for vehicles is considered to be elastic because it is more than 1. Land, for example, is also considered to be elastic. Okay, so I'll stop here. Thank you.